All right, gentlemen, we are back with a combined week 3 and 4 update here for you. I apologize for not getting one out last week, but I was wandering around everywhere I could trying to find someone to recruit me for the Squid Games. Hasn't happened yet, so unfortunately I'm still here. But TBD, we'll keep you updated on that. Anyway, let's get into it like we always do. We'll do week 3 first and then cycle right back to week 4. Top players for week 3. For some reason on my sheet, I wrote 13 and 14. So apparently it's been a rough day already for me. I don't know what the hell's going on. Anyway, quarterbacks week 3, Josh Allen and uh, Justin Herbert. That's what his name is for Randall and Jose. Running backs, Najee and Kareem, both for Tom. Wide receivers, Mike Williams and Devonta Adams, both for Jose, just not both in his lineup. Tight ends, Dalton Schultz and Tyler Conklin, both on waivers. Flexes, Cooper Kupp and Justin Jefferson for Nate and Steve. Defenses, Saints and Browns for Steve and Jose. Holy cow, we actually had both defenses. Damn. Looking at that week, Jose had 4 top players this week somehow. I never would have seen that coming in a bajillion years. Um, and that puts him with a total of 6 on the year. There's actually like 5 of us with 6. Or sorry, that would be after week 4. I don't know what it is after week 3. I don't have the immediate results, but we got a bunch. So, looking at the matchups, we're going to go through it the same way. Why am I getting text messages? I don't have any friends. Anyway, going back to the matchups, going to do kind of the same, a little quick Spitfire one like we did last time. So starting off with a matchup of me and Tom. Of course, I've been shit talking Tom all season because he chose Kamara over McCaffrey. And what week does Kamara finally do good? Well, it's the one against me, which yeah, that of course. Who couldn't have seen that coming? He finally puts up a normal game for him that he hadn't done all year yet. My team, on the other hand, was just bad. We just bad. There's no other way around it. But kind of like the first week, it seems to really alternate. So hopefully we can figure out and get ourselves on track. But I'm not too confident. On Tom's side, again, I'm going to say I don't expect Kamara to do that all the time, but he'll be fine because apparently all the Steelers know how to do is check down Najee Harris on 4th down when they need like 8 yards. So he should get plenty of receptions and get plenty of points there. On to our next one with Ryan and Neil. Not a good game for Ryan. His reign of terror is seemingly coming to an end, but it's okay because he had Neil, who still hasn't figured out how to get off the ground yet. This is Neil's 3rd game around 100 points, and it's just not looking good there. Ryan has also lost CMC now, which again, of course, just because apparently I don't know anything about football. He should be out a few weeks. Um, Hopefully he doesn't lose any more running backs like David Montgomery next week. But who knows? We haven't gotten there yet. We're still in week 3. We don't know about that. Either way, both teams just not not looking good here. It is a struggle all the way around. Um, our most exciting game of the week, I would say, between Arias and Steve, with Arias putting down the champ by a solid 10 points. This is only the second time Steve has lost. And for that reason, Steve is getting the hat of shame for this week. Um, Not necessarily just because he lost, but because of the way he lost. He was missing some running backs. He was missing Dalvin Cook and Josh Jacobs. And behind them, he has all of Trey Sermon, James White, Latavius Murray, and David Johnson, who combined for roughly 15 points between them. So that's just it's just bad. Um, so that could be an issue down the road. Who knows? Um, Thankfully for Arias, CEH did not fumble him away the game like he did last week. So good kudos on that. Now, I mean, I know this is rough for Steve, but come on, he's been good at this before. There's no way his team would lose 2 weeks in a row, right? No, there's no way. I couldn't see that one happening. All right, going to our fourth game of the week. Definitely the most surprising game by far. Holy Toledo's. Jose put up 147 points on Dave, and I don't have words for what happened or where this came from. I can almost guarantee it will never happen again. But but dear God, and this was with Jose had Mike Williams on his bench and Rondale Moore in his flex. There was only a tiny 31-point difference between them, so Jose could have friggin' put up almost 180 points. Um, I'm not even gonna say anything about this. That's all there is to it. Dave, another solid outing. Nothing great, nothing spectacular. The Eagles are still refusing to give Miles Sanders the ball, and so that is going to be frustrating. We will see how long Dave continues to put up with that um, before before finally benching him. I don't know. I think it's going to happen, but we will see. In our last game of week three, we got Randall, Jesus, Randall against Nate. I don't. This is rough already. We got Randall against Nate. Once again, Nate continues to pretty much just be a bulldozer in the league, putting up great points every week. Um, he got a he got a terrible week out of Tyreek, only 9 points somehow. What? How? No, stop. Um, but it was okay because Cooper Cup got 30, so he was able to survive that. Randall didn't do bad. 120 points is solid. It looks like Barkley has come back to life and should keep him going. Um, but his pick of Big Bob Tanyan in like the fifth round or something is looking even greater by the day as he put up a whole 1.6 points this week. Um, Randall absolutely also had the points to win that if he had swapped out for Gesicki as tight end, and he would have won that one. So Nate got a little lucky there, but hey, that's what it takes sometimes. All right, that was our week three wrap up. So I was going to take an intermission, but this is a train wreck already, so I'm just going to go through it and finish it out. So let's roll right into week four, or as I have on my top player sheet, week 14. Top QBs this week were Mahomes and Darnold for Nate and the waiver wire. Hold on, sheet back up. Top running backs were Cordero Patterson, that's right, bitches, for me, and Saquon for Randall. Top wide receivers were Tyreek and Debo for Nate and me. Top tight ends, CJ Who's Your Mama and Dawson Knox for the waiver wire and Randall. Flexes, DJ Moore and Terry McCurn for Steve and Jose. Defenses, Bills and Ravens for Tom and Arias. Oh, then I forgot kickers last week. Shit. Kickers for week 13 were Chase McLaughlin and Justin Tucker for waivers and Steve. And this week, in week four, they were Tyler Bass and Matt Prater for waivers and also waivers. Good week for waivers, really, this week. So, where does that put us on the season? This puts us tied. Me, Nate, Tom, Steve, and Jose, literally only because of week three, at 6 top players. Um, Dave, Ryan, and Randall at 3, then then Arias at 2, and Neil at 1. Good job, Neil. I'm impressed you got 1 with the scores you've got. All right, rolling into our matchups. Let me get my scoreboard back up here. Got to get to scoreboard. Week 4. All right. This time, we are going to start with Dave and Arias for this one. And this is, hold on, I threw the hat too far. Wait. Okay, Dave is getting the hat this time, because I'm just disappointed. Look, Arias had a terrible week from Kelsey. Can finally complain about that, and it gave Dave every opportunity to win. Now, why did Dave not win? Well, he played Odell Beckham in his flex on Odell's first week back this week, and he got 5 points. His other options there were Amari Cooper, who got 15, Devonta Smith, who got 19, Marquise Brown, who got 19, Manuel Sanders, who got 13, and Jacoby Myers, who got 16. Now, let me see, 13. Oh, I'd have to do math. 13-1. 13-1 would not have won it. No. Okay, so everyone besides Emmanuel Sanders there, any of those other wide receiver options would have won it for Dave, and that's just a risky move, and it just did not pay off on that one, unfortunately. Um, so yeah, better luck next time, Dave. Again, the Eagles still just won't give Sanders the ball, so I don't know. At this point, maybe trade him for like a kicker or something because Carlson only got 1 point. I don't know. There's a lot of figuring out to do there. Next matchup, we have Neil and Tom, and Neil, at this point, sir, you are gonna need an ambulance, and definitely for you. Once again, under 100 points, your lowest score of the week at 93. Um, and it's just there's just not a lot happening. CeeDee Lamb hasn't been good since week one. Logan Thomas got hurt like the first quarter. Chuba did okay, but not anything like people were expecting to replace McCaffrey. On Tom's side, of course, Kamara came back to earth again with 12 points. Not a bad score, but not a first overall pick score. But it's okay because once again, the Steelers, maybe just Ben specifically, don't know how to play football, so they check down to Najee on fourth down when they need 7 yards, and it goes predictably, but he gets catch points, so that works. Moving on to our next game, we have Ryan and Randall in this one. Now, Ryan has how the mighty have fallen in this one. Ryan was up here and now almost the lowest score of the week. Um, I say almost because we had some really bad scores this week. So not good. Not good, Ryan. You used the bold strategy of not playing a defense. It wouldn't have helped, but it still should probably do it. Unless you're me, I'm really good at getting negatives, but everybody else seems to know how to do it. Um, and yeah, wow, who feel like I might have called this about 5 minutes ago, but it seems like David Montgomery is going to be out for 3, 4, 5, I don't know, a bunch of weeks with a knee injury. So that's not great. That's going to leave Ryan with two injured running backs, and his healthy running backs will be Singletary, DeAndre Swift, and Jamal Williams. And yes, two of them are on the same team, so that's some something right there. That is indeed some something. Um, Once again, Saquon is playing like he should be playing for Randall, so that's good. Unfortunately, Chris Carson is having some issues, some neck issues, so he might be out tonight. I am I am patiently waiting the news as you idiots let me pick up Alex Collins, like literally last night. So I'm crossing my fingers. He might get some nice volume tonight. He may be in my lineup. We will see. Um, Going over to our fourth game, Jose, after coming off a just dynamite week, it turns out his flame burned too bright and too short as he has come back to the lowest score of the week with 86 points, just in time to run into the freight train that is Nate with 154 freaking points. Um, at this point, there's not even anything I'm going to bother saying about Nate's team. Um, if you have Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, play them against the Eagles and you will win. That's all there is to it. Um, Jose, I just there's a lot. He put Mike Williams in this time after his 33-point performance, which is good, and he got a whole two, and left Terry McLaurin with 30 points on the bench. Now, granted, that 30 points would not have made the difference, but it would at least look a little better in the stat sheet. And now, the game you've all been waiting for. This is our game of the week between me and Steve. And if you just give me 1 second here. How do you like that, Steve? Ooh, that one felt good. The champ goes down for the second week in a row. I had all but given up on this game when it was the end of the Sunday slot. The Cards and the whoever's were playing, and then the Broncos and Ravens were playing, and Lamar, he wasn't doing much of anything, and Kyler had already thrown for like 2 touchdowns and 200 yards in the first half, and I was like, all right. I stopped watching the games. I went to go take care of some other business. And lo and behold, I come back and it's a nice, smooth 1.4 point victory. And man, it feels good. It feels good. I feel like this could be a big one coming in playoff time. So, I'm happy. Now, not only is this the most losses Steve has ever had in a season, it's also the only time he's ever lost consecutively. So man, I don't know. This is the kind of thing that could get in your head. We're going to see if he can recover emotionally, mentally, probably physically, because he probably had to drink himself to sleep that night. So hopefully Steve's still doing okay. We'll do a wellness check on him after this week. But man, if he goes down a third time in a row, I'm going to be worried. Now who does Steve have this week? Damn it. Well, shit. Steve has Neil this week, so he's not going to lose three in a row. Unfortunately, though we have seen stranger things with Jose, so who knows? Maybe. But I'm going to call my shot here and say Steve is gonna bounce back this week. But that is the end of our week 4, week 3, week everything. Recap. Let me check the standings real quick and see. There's a lot. It's fairly tight right around here. Nate is kind of running away with it right now, 3-1 with almost 600 points scored. The next highest is right around 522. So Nate is crushing, um, and he almost has the highest points against too. So he's earning those wins. Um, but yeah, then right around the middle, a lot of us are knotted up there at what am I? Can't read what this stupid thing is. A lot of us at 2-2 there. The only one who's really in trouble is Neil 4-4. Somehow Jose is 2-2. I don't know. So he's still in it as much as anyone. But yeah, so a lot of interesting games. This week should be pretty good. So everybody get your lineup set, and I will check in with you guys. Well, I would say next week, but I have obviously already made false promises, so I'm not going to do that. So I will check in with you at some point later in the season. Adios.